Beautiful. So today's setup is a bolster with a brick underneath it. If you've got a belt handy, that's to tie the legs up. And we're going to do Baddha Konasana. Little bit of space. If you've got a belt or some extra blankets to pack under your thighs, that is also recommended. If you don't, just can use a couple of bricks, can stick a jumper, you can have nothing. I know that's using a lot of proppage some of us don't have. And I've got a little bit of space. I put my belt on, come down and fit a blanket under my head. Get it nice and comfortable into the neck. And arms upward. Beautiful. You close your eyes, you can feel your feet even. If you're cold, maybe you need something over you. If you're warm, fabulous. If you're cold and you can't be bothered, just feel the sun coming down through and warming all your joints. And as you breathe in, we have a little support under the ribs. So the ribs open sideways. You don't push them into the bolster. You let that extra open outwards, and you'll find that also the abdomen hollows in when you inhale. And exhaling. Inhaling open like a flower. Exhaling at the bottom of the exhale. Just press this abdomen in a little bit. And it's going to lengthen the spine up the center. And your chin might come a little deeper towards your chest as you inhale. Chest opens more. And exhale. Hollow abdomen. And the spine is where the air travels up. It lengthens the spine. Spine is more in the middle of the torso. The ribs expand their own. The stomach and the abdomen, this little diaphragm, remains hollow. Just being aware of that central channel where the air goes in. In your own time, because obviously you're breathing at a different time from me. As you exhale, the lips are slightly separated, but it's almost as the energy expands outwards into the space rather than collapses. Breathing through the center of the spine, side ribs expand. And the air evaporates out through the nose, through the mouth. No particular effort to do any of this. Just noticing if you hollow your tummy. Oh, that's where it goes. To exhale, the cells expand. Center of the spine, long back of the neck, chin comes down. Rebreathing now. Let it go. It'll still probably want to breathe up that center channel. The diaphragm does what it wants to do. The reality is you're being breathed. And if you're catch to undo, your belt is easy, you undo your belt. Or without disturbing too much, roll to the side. You're still feeling of that. It's almost as if the pubic bone breathes up the center of the spine. And then that just expands the ribs at their own time. It's lovely that your mat is quite right angle to the wall. From here, we'll start as normal. The elbows look at each other. The skin in the hand rolls towards the puffy bit of the thumb. Then you just press the little finger. So we feel the entirety of the hand. You can spread the cells of the hand. You don't have to follow all of these. Choose one that's easy. Now, tuck the toes under, keep the weight a little forward, spread the energy of the palm of the hand. Up you come. And up and over fence to go into downward dog. Inhale, come forward. It's the first one. Exhale. Over and down. Inhale, expanding. Little cloud opening. Suck the inner armpit up to release the back of your neck. And spread the skin on your hand. Downward dog. Suck the inner arm up from the elbow. It opens the back of the neck. And then you can bring the sternum through. The shoulders then aren't connected to it. Eventually, that head comes towards the thighs and the floor and the feet and the floor. Inhale, walking the feet towards the hands. Free breathing, expand, find length through the crown of the head.
Breathe through the crown of the head. Exhale, hollow your abdomen. Free breathing, expand. Suck your knees up. Exhale, hollow. If it's comfortable, you can walk your hands back. You can hold the back of your legs. Give them a little bit of a support. Free breathing. Lengthen your spine long. So the back is straight through the crown of the head. Bring your hands to your hips and squeeze in so the trochanters come towards each other and you come up. Beautiful. And we will do a Surya Namaskara. Very nice. And feet together, toes together. Just separate the heels a little bit. Interlock the hands, take the arms up to the sky. Beautiful. Now, the heels are separated. A small Utkatasana, just bend the knees a little. So the tailbone is down. Tailbone down, down, down. Hollow your tummy. Press your shoulders forward, inner arm back. We're just trying to use all the contrary flowing of energy to find the equilibrium place in the middle. And release. You can put your hands on your head. Roll them and come down. Secret smile. Ekam, first one. Inhale. Lift off your lower back, inner arm back. I'm lifting you up. Exhale, coming down. Like I cut the rope. Free breathing, flower expanding. Crown of the head long, chin almost in. Bend the knees. It's the first one. Pop the knees on the floor and bow to this floor. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, halfway up, chest, full way up. Now, you want some space in your lower back. You are going to lift the thigh bones up for a moment, tailbone down, just to try and get some space in your lower back. Spread your hands and over you go. Downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Elongate the arms. Spread the hands. Inhale. Heels come off. Exhale. Find some length. Inner elbow to inner armpit. Pull up. Inhale. Releasing. Breathing through the spine so the ribs can expand. Exhale. And bending the knees, walking, stepping. Free breathing. Hollow the abdomen through the crown of the head. Exhale, a little bow to the universe. And inhale, squeeze the hips up. You come. I hold your hands. Samastitihi. There you are, like a beacon. Ekam, inhale. Lift up. Exhale. Melt down, down, down. 25 miles down. Free breathing. Feet through, crown of head. Exhale, bend the knees. Gentle hands. You look at the floor. You can put your knees down. Bow. Chest. We're looking for a space in the psoas. So that's beside the navel. And separate the hips a little. Spread your hands, over you go. And inhale, rock forwards. Exhale. One. Take all aggression from the forearms as they float a little forward. Exhale. Space. Heels can fall. Hollow abdomen. Expand. Inner elbow up so we got straight arms. Exhale. Elbows floating upwards. So it's taking pressure off. And last one. Rocking forward, bend the knees. You can float, you can step, you can walk. Free breathing, hollow the abdomen. Spread the skin on your back. Hollow the abdomen. Bow. Squeeze the trochanters together, up you come. Long. Retain this space. Samastitihi. Be aware of the wall behind you. Ekam, inhale. Long, shoulders up. Exhale, release. Surrender. Free breathing. Chin comes into the chest. Press. Heart. Spread the hands. Over we go. And 1. 2. 3. 4. Breathing through the crown of the head. Breathe out through the feet. Hands. 5. Bending the knees. Floating or stepping. 3. Open the back of the neck. Hollow the abdomen. Bow. Inhale. Trochanter, tailbone down. And Samastitihi, all the blessings of the world just come falling down. You're standing in a rain of them. Close the eyes, a couple of breaths. Suramaskaya B with Utkatasana. Slightly separate the heels. Ekam. Bring the hands up. Tailbone down, hollow tummy. Press the shoulders forward. Hollow tummy, tailbone down. I'm just pulling you upwards. Doesn't matter if you don't go far. Release, coming down. Breathe. Open. Exhale. Hands gentle. What does that feel like, that floor? You can do a full version, half version, chest. Now, pressing the ankles equally, or the front of the feet and equally, lift the thighs, drop your tailbone in such a fashion that your torso curves a bit. Releasing up and over. Inhale, bring the weight forward, turn the left foot in, bring the right foot, and up we go into Virabhadrasana. The straight leg from the inner groin lengthen to the inner heel in such a fashion your hip starts to straighten up. To stabilize, the outside of the bent leg, knee goes down to the heel. We're looking for the less tilt in the hips and more straight sideways. Inhale, exhale, bow. Your time coming down, press. Honorable floor, chest, round, over we go. Rest, rocking forward. Right heel comes forward, left one, Virabhadrasana. Inner groin now of right. It's just where that adductor starts. Lengthen it. Make sure the instep is lifted as well. Hips straighten. Stabilize it with the front knee down to the outside of its heel. And bow. Press your version. Inhale your version. Out of the lower back. Press and bow. Now this is a rest. You can close the eyes, inhale. Whatever the eyes are doing, they are steady. Inhale, 2. We have so many of the nadis or little flowing channels or streams of energy. We can look, we do a little bit of spreading of the skin on the hands, what happens? Spread the skin on the back. What happens? And bending the knees, floating, walking, makes no difference. Open. Bow. Bend the knees. Tailbone down. Slightly separate the heels. Get some space in your lower back. We are being lifted up. Just got bent knees. Samastitihi. The position you do on top of a mountain. Ekam, inhale, bending the knees. Take the weight slightly back so we get a really long line, lengthening the back of the neck, the back, the sit bone. And I come back. We come all the way down. Free breathing, open the back of the knees, little beacons. Exhale, step, walk, jump, press. Inhale. Heart. Exhale. Over. Bow. Inhale, rock forward. Left foot turns in. Right foot forward. Virabhadrasana. Lengthen inner groin to inner heel. Exhale. Bow. Rest. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling. Inhale. Steady. Rest. Inhale. Exhale. To rest. One. In the sea. All the water just flows around you and then pulls you back. Inhale. Breath like the tide. A wave. And 5. Rocking forward. And walking, stepping. Free, open the back of your neck. So the chin comes in a little bit. Exhale, hollow tummy, chin to throat. Bend the knees. Keep the heels a little separated just today. Lengthen, long line. Shoulders forward, hollow tummy. The inner arms went back. That was a good movement. Last one. Ekam Pune. Dway, exhale. Free breathing, open. Chitwadi. Honorable floor. Vancha. Space. Shade 6 over, up and over. Sapta, left foot turns in, right foot forward. Ashtama. Yes. Nava. Hot. Desha. Over. Ekadisha. Dwadisha. Cryodisha. Katodisha. And one, what is? Not what it means, usually. What is? And bending the knees, step or walking, stable, heels slightly separated, open, little bow, Utkatasana, Saptadisha, and coming up, who's standing, beautiful. Coming down immediately into Uttanasana. Back of the neck free. Hollow tummy once again. Expand with the in-breath. Exhale, hollow tummy. Pulling up the inner leg. It's just helping the pubis lift. Helps the instep lift. Free breathing, open. Exhale, let's put the hands underneath. You can bend the knees for this one. What's the feeling? Exhale. Inner legs can lift up. Free breathing, expand. Release the hands. Bring your hands to the hips. Once again, press with the trochanter's in, tailbone down, up you come. Hello world. Bend the knees. Maybe a little jump. And this is where we have an oiling of the knees, where everything's straight. We just shake everything out. See what's happening in the shoulders. Are we holding maybe a little extra that's not necessary in there? And we're just warming up the joints in the knees so they get a bit of heat. And Trikonasana. You can be into the wall, you can put a brick, you can be without. I'm being without today. Turning left foot in, right foot out, inhale, exhale, and coming down. You can use that micro bend, no problem with that. And then using the energy through that leg upwards. It's almost sucking the right femur bone in, so your torso can come down a little lower in a straight line. 2. And then press your front leg, hip bone forward. It's not tense, it's just pressing forward so your chest can open. And 5. And now bend the front leg. We will go into half moon from here. Be at peace with this, bending the leg, and really slowly start to lift the left foot. The head can look down. If you're very confident, you can start to look back to the wall, to the back leg wall, and then up towards the ceiling. Spread from the center of the chest. And 5, beautiful. Now dive the left hand forward so that we come into a plank. And just have an extra breath here. This is a rest. So the elbows look at each other and there's almost a little lift in the shoulders. It's a little bit of a hollowing. Then you can put your knees down, bow. Chest, your version. Eyes can be closed. Spread the hands, over you go. And we're going into Trikonasana on the other side. The left foot forward, the right one slightly turned, toes inwards. Inhale. Exhale, lengthening away. Now, if I do the same lengthening that we did in Virabhadrasana, from the back leg, inner groin, to the inner heel, so it's easier to have the back foot turned inwards. What will also happen is a slight releasing of the hips, which is what we want. Here I'll just stand behind you and press the left sit bone so you have a friend behind you. There is a wall there supporting you. And you're lengthening the inner groin to the inner heel so the hip keeps on releasing. You bend. We're coming into half moon in your own time. Take the left hand a little bit forward. Very slowly start the lift of the right foot. And here we can slowly take the hand to the hip and be in the air, be on the wall if you had a wall handy. Finding that line through the standing leg up through the hip. Open the chest. 4 and 5. Everything's shining from the center of your sternum. Dive coming down with that right hand. Go back into a plank position. It's a rest position. It's like the knees jumping. It's a reset. Pop the knees down. Bow. Chest. Make sure the top of the feet are even. Spread the hands. Over you go. And lifting the heels. Now you could do a little hop or you can just walk Free breathing. Bow. Samastitihi. Hello. And beautiful. Hasva Konasana. Inhale. Exhale. We're coming down the inside of this leg. Lengthen from the inner groin to the inner heel. And that again makes it easier for that turned in action of the back foot. Toes facing a little bit towards the head side. Now, as we lengthen the inner groin, the right hip, the bent leg hip, goes backwards. It comes more into its socket. And here we can turn. We can take the top hand up as if we're pressing a wall. If we had a wall, we could also press it. Release behind the front knee, release in the hips. Don't work hard there. They release and it's easy. And now take this top hand and take it behind your back. Find that front hand and see if we can bind. It can be just fingertips touching. The longest spine possible, release behind the knee, long, long, long spine, release in the hips. Don't hold tension there. Let them let you go. 4 and 5. And up we come. Turning. Inhale. Exhale. Coming down. The hand in the front today is just so you can use some resistance. Here we're lengthening again. The inner adductor line right from that tendon inside the groin there to the inner heel. Long it goes so the hips release. Long spine. You can press an imaginary wall if you wish. To open your collarbone. Release that tension in the hips. It's not necessary. It can go down behind the knee. And 5. Now, if it's convenient, you can take the right hand behind your back and see if we can bind. It could be just fingertips. And releasing any tension in the knee. It just thinks it has to work hard and it doesn't. 4 and 5. Brilliant. Up you come. Turning and hanging down. Uttanasana. Free breathing. Put the thumbs in the creases of the elbow. Have a little play. Or and 5. Place the hands down. Keep the right foot forward. We're going to do revolved Trikonasana from here. Now, lengthen from the inner groin to the back heel, keeping the instep lifted. Take the left hand over to the little toe side of the front foot. And as you lengthen the inner groin of the back leg, the hips will straighten up. You can do a little turn as the spine gets longer. You can look down. Draw the right hip bone into the center line. Get that squeezing toothpaste. And 5, release. Take your hands. Downward dog. Just step back into it. It's a rest. Inhale. In this wonderful water, this salty water, so it lifts you up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, taking the left foot forward. Revolved Trikonasana. The other side. Right hand comes to little toe. Now, left hand's on the left hip. Lengthen that inner groin line and just feel the hips straighten up. They're square. 2. Take all tension out of the torso and let it slowly spiral and get longer, longer, longer. 4. Oh, very good. And 5. Releasing. Very good. Bring your hands down. Step that foot back. Downward dog. Armpits move forward slightly. Suck the inner arm line up from the inner elbow into the inner neck. Spread the hands. Armpits still lifted. And then you bow. Very nice. Beautiful. And bring the right foot forward. Come on to your knees and we will do revolved Parsva Konasana. Inhale, exhale, getting much of your tummy round. Now, this time the back foot is straight. You tuck the toe under and you lift it up. Then you can start to work the inner line. And as you work the inner line to the inner heel, the hips just straighten up again. The right hip, the bent leg hip, comes into the midline. And you can turn. Again, if you had a wall handy, that would be fine. You can take your hand up. You could have a prayer position here, just to open and lengthen. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bending that knee, bringing the hands down. Let's go straight back into downward dog. Little pressing of the little finger to get the tricep into the bone so you get longer arms. And 5. Bending the knees, bringing the left leg forward, and we do it on the other side. Right, comes over. I can even manhandle some of my ribs over that. Now I could start in a prayer position. I could start with my hand down if I was lucky. Tuck the back toe under and straighten, squeeze the hips together, then lengthen the inner line of that groin to the inner heel. So we work there in the hips square. Left hip into the midline also is now squaring. It's sending the spine long. I don't mind what our hands are doing. Prayer, pressing the wall. Full version. And releasing, coming down. And going into pose of the child. Once we're there, there is a little wheel in the ankle. So the front of the ankle, the wheel goes to the toes. Now, as that happens, if we're lucky, there's a little bit of an opening in your back, a bit of reorganizing how everything is wired, and the feet are a little flatter. Spread the palms of the hands, lift the forearms up, just to take some pressure off the shoulders and the neck. The neck and the head are in equilibrium at the moment. They have no force on any direction, so they are floating. As you breathe in, you breathe through the spine, the chin comes a little lower into the neck as the spine is longer. And come up onto the shins and the hands. Tuck the toes under and downward dog. Very good. Bring the left foot forward and keep the fingers on the floor. We could also have a couple of bricks there. Lift the right leg up. So this is a kind of half Virabhadrasana 3. We want to take the tailbone down the standing leg just so that the hips square up a little bit, get a bit of space in your lower back. Lengthen through the crown of the head, the heel. Very good. Now, coming slowly up, turning to your wall so that the right leg is on the wall. So I just show you. Take that right leg and put it into the wall. So you're standing with the leg into the wall. Beautiful. So from here, the line goes through the standing seam, the inner seam of the standing leg, in such a fashion it drops the tailbone down. Here I could say spread your sit bones so the back of your neck opens. You're spreading your sit bones sideways, then lifting up. Flesh flows down, bones go up. Release the skin around your neck, inner arms. Now you can either bend your knee or you could go to hold that foot. The blade side would be the side and do a twist. So turning. Very good. If it's difficult to straighten the leg, you can hold a bent leg. This is actually more difficult, but be at peace with that. Very good. Beautiful. And once again, in a seam of standing leg, so the leg in the air drops. Or the buttock of the leg in the air drops. And it's going to be equal. Excellent. And releasing. Bring that right foot down, and we're going for Vira 3 once again, lifting the back leg, opening the back of the neck, dropping the tailbone down, the other side. You can rebend the standing leg, then straighten it, tailbone down, find that inner seam of the leg. That's going to straighten the hips even here. Then you lengthen the crown of the head and the heel. If you want to go higher, you can, or you could go lower to get more space in your back. Then, slowly coming up, if you can come up in one action, you do, and bring that left leg into the wall. Lift the arms up to the sky, spread your sit bones. Find space. Release the inner arm. Secret smile. You like that wall. it likes you. Out of your lower back. Open the back of your neck. And we go for the second variation, which is either holding the blade of the foot or the big toe. That's a problem. And or bend knee, turning, the hard version. In a line of standing leg, goes up through the side, the navel, the left buttock and hip goes down. And release. Wonderful. Take a little break, hanging down. Feet actually go deep, deep, deep. So there's another kilometer of leg down there. It's all supported by lots of lovely foundations. We've only got the top bit showing. Suck the inner groin up. This is where Iyengar often said, open the anal mouth. And wonderful. Back into downward dog. And we'll go into Virabhadrasana once again. So right foot comes forward. And up we come. Virabhadrasana 1. Now, from just in that little tendon, lengthen that away. And in such a fashion, you'll find the hips straighten up for you. You can release behind the knee. Doesn't have any tension. Then take the outside of the bent knee down to the outside of the bent knee. Bring the elbows together, which actually opens the back of your neck. Now, inhale. Exhale. We are going to go into Virabhadrasana 2 straight away. This one, I'm going to say exactly the same thing. Lengthen the back leg, the bent straight leg from the inner groin so that you're more in the center. That's it. To back, the instep on the back leg lifts. So as you extend that in a line, there's a sort of lifting of the instep. And come up and come down into the Virabhadrasana 2. You want to be in the center. You don't want to be leaning over the front leg. The way to do that is maybe suck the hamstring up into a buttock crease or just try and tuck it under. So instead of leaning forward, we are in the center. Up you come. Turn front foot in, back foot out, other side. Release behind the knee. So the temptation is leaning forward, but we're going to be right in the center. Beautiful. And 5. Release, coming down. Take the foot back. Free breathing. Bring the armpits forward. Here we are. A fluffy cloud expanding, opening the cells. Very, very nice. We'll bring the front foot forward and we'll go into a lizard situation. So This is a lunge. You can tuck that back foot under if you want. You can bring your forearms forward if you want. You want to lengthen through the crown of your head and the back heel, and that will also square the hips up. You can extend in the inner groin line like we've been doing. Does that even the hips up? Yes, it should do. Lengthen through the crown of the head and the heel. That should also do that. The front knee might hug in, which is very, very good. And slowly, slowly coming to straighten the front leg. So we're in Pavottanasana. 2 straight legs. Lengthening the back inner groin. Tucking the right hip to the center line, to that middle line. Free breathing through the center of the spine, which lengthens the back of the neck. 5, wonderful. And from here, we'll come down onto the right knee and we'll just swap the sides so that we have a bent front knee in a lunge situation. If you want to, you can then tuck the right foot, the back foot under, and straighten that knee off the floor. Extending through the crown, and the back heel, until everything is just being pulled along that line. If you want to, we can play with the inner groin to the inner heel, back leg. Will also be a straightener. And 5. And straightening the front leg, little bow. Pavottanasana. Everything that we've been looking at today, we have a play with. Spread the cells on the ball of the foot. Front foot, the little toes open up. Beautiful, stable. And place the hands flat. Go back into a downward dog. Inhale, exhale. And now you can bend your knees, you can come through. Or you just come to a sitting position, a Dandasana. The thighs. I've got a friend who's put some weight, some sandbags on your thighs. They've gone down. The outside of the knees is slightly opening so that the knee can go down. Press an accelerator with your feet. Your chest is open. Breathing in, long back of the neck, the chin comes down. Close the eyes. Two. Opening the back. Follow the tummy, inhale. In your own time, coming forward. Mind if you use them. You haven't, you don't, obviously. And so and no ambition with this. Lift the forearms up. They're floating up to the sky. And they're just taking all the stress off the shoulders, the neck, even the stretch, really. It's just being lifted up. And like a little parachute
Releasing down, down, down. Melting the thighs down. Inhale, a bit like a plane taking off now. Through the center of the spine, everything opens. Back of the neck long. Exhale, little parachute. Release down. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Now, we're going to take the right leg, and if it gives you no discomfort, it goes into the crease of the left leg. Now, if there is any discomfort or your knee is way up in the air, you're going to use bricks and go into a cross. So we've always seen a lot. Sophie always does this one. If you're fine, we're going to go into this. Lovely. Inhale. Exhale. Easy does it coming forward. Beautiful. 2. 3. 4. It's a long straight spine. So again, we breathe through lengthening the spinal cord to the crown of the head. Inhale. Free breathing, up you come. In your own time, very gently, without thought. Other side. They're never different. They're never the same. This goes heel into navel, then folds. Inhale, exhale. Two, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, filling up, releasing. You can lift up or just fold this right one back and put a brick under the left one. Just make sure that you're comfortable with this. Inhale, and we go into Tiriyan Mukha Pada. Brick beside you, coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale without thought. We're going through the sequence without jumps. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. 1. So you have a lovely brick beside your straight leg. Just put your elbow or your hand on that so that you can post your spine long and straight down the seam of that straight leg. Breathing through the crown of the head. Four. 5. Inhale. Rock a little bit onto the right side so you can get that knee up very easily. Janu Shirshasana. Bending the right leg and bringing it down. Very nice. Turning so the spine is straight. Inhale. Exhale, coming down. Two. Crown of the head. 3. Feel that I'm drawing the skin on top of that bent leg thigh, that right one, and tethering it like a tent pegs down behind you. It's extra skin stretching. Inhale, taking off of the plane, up you go, other side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Turning. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. 2. 3. Lower opening through the crown of the head. And 5. Inhale, taking off of the plane. Releasing. We are going to do a toe crusher. If you want to sit on a brick or 2 bricks, you do that now. Tuck the toes under. Push the heel. I can even brush. Very nice. Inhale. And gently coming forward. Not pushing it. 2. You can suck the straight leg into its socket. Does that straighten things up? Does it open the sacrum? It's just interesting. There's no right or wrong here. 4. 5. Inhale. Releasing. Other side. Pushing the heel, lovely Achilles stretch. If you want to, if the toes a bit more air, you can. Space. Turning. And exhaling. 2. 3. 4. Breathe the back of the neck. Take off as you inhale.
Exhale. Floating. And 5. Inhale, feeling up. Long spine, eyes soft. Releasing. Marichi Asana, the next in the sequence. Again, you can always sit on your brick or get in the middle of this as much as you can. In slightly tend in, which makes mine straight, actually. And elbow, take it behind. Grab the left wrist. Inhale. Exhale. 1. It's almost as if you are walking with that right foot. So it draws backwards. 2, 3, 4. In 5. Inhale. Without thought. Changing. Inhale. Exhale. Was relaxed actually. And then you just sneak it behind. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Vrichyasana. See. Turning the foot in, we're going for the twist. So the foot turns in. Get into this, lean back. Get in this beautiful straight line. Elbow comes round. Walk up. And now we're in a straight line going up. Suck. Pubic bone maybe up. And turning. 2. Curiously, we broaden the lowest floating ribs and the false ribs as if they were top of a fan opening up. And as they open, you can turn more. And releasing the other side. Leaning back situation. Just to get in. And then we bring the hand in. Now we're going for a straight line. Turning. Use resistance. And close the eyes here. Head's not really part of this. I'm more interested in that opening of the false ribs and the floating ribs, that fan just opening and turning you. We're going straight up. And release. Wonderful. And here. Rolling, coming down. Knees are bent. You're just letting everything settle. Hollow abdomen. Feel the floor, feet. Beautiful. Then you take your hands behind your head. Look at your legs. Bend your legs for a moment. Rock side to side. Inhale. Exhale. Push them away. Flex them hard. Feet are off. To the chest. And bend the knees. Rock side to side. Now, hopefully you're far away enough. So you can take your hands behind you. They could even have the fingers slightly touching the wall. Take the legs straight up to the sky. Inhale. Now exhale. And inhale, take the legs down, puffing the chest up. Really flex the feet. Push the feet like an accelerator. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Flex the feet hard. Push the accelerator. Inhale, open the chest as you lift the legs up. Exhale, flex the feet hard. Hollow tummy. Inhale, it's going to hollow your tummy as your chest expands. Lift the legs up. Have a play with that. Good. Beautiful. Flex hard. Push. Now, just take a rest and rock side to side. Very nice. The head can be whatever. So it's just so you're actually massaging some of the tension out of the rhomboids and the back. Very good. Now you take the legs out to the side, then outward splits. Lift up, look at the look at the camera. I'm pulling you. And little pulsing pull. It's chest, not head. Just know it's your chest that's coming up, not your head. And release, come to the left side. Chest goes to the thigh, little pulse, release. And on the other side, chest goes to the right thigh. And release back through the center. Release and bend the knees, rock a little bit. Hands can do what they want. And feet down, let the knees fall inward. Take rest. Hollow tummy. If you've got a brick handy and it gives you no discomfort, pop the brick underneath your sacrum, straighten the legs. So we put it under, it can be low, it can be on the second one. It's in the second one, you probably could use 2 bricks. If you've got the lowest one, you just have 1. It's important that everybody is aware of, if you get a little bit in your lower back, stop before that moment. If you're absolutely fine, you're very blessed and you can just hang out with an open abdomen. hollow tummy. Again, it's pushing the ribs out sideways for you. Bend the knees, lift your hips off, release down, and take the legs or the knees, because the knees are bent, over, let's say, to the left. It makes no difference, but we just let them drop. Great. Now, if it gives you no problem, the leg that's underneath the lowest leg, just release that and pop it on top of the top knee so that you've got some extra opening happening. You can scoot, if you've gone to the left, scoot the left shoulder blade a little more to the left. So the spine is straight, you feel a little more even. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release that top leg, bring the legs up to the center, little rock side to side, sacrum's like a boat rocking. Breathe in. Breathe out, expand into the rest of the universe. Very enjoyable. Breathing out, you're going home. And taking the legs over to the other side, whichever side that was for you. Me, it's the right. Then it gives me no problems. The bottom leg just comes on top. So the foot's almost on that left knee, top leg knee, more weight. Scoot shoulder a little bit more to that bent leg side. Release the top leg off, bring the legs back, a little bit rock side to side. If you can get the hands underneath the heels, we're going up into a Chatusasana, little bridge. You do, or you can hold the ankles with the thumbs on top or the sides of the mat and lengthen your sit bones long, long, long. So get the longest lower back possible. And then it starts lifting up. So the sit bones are going long past the knees. Up you come. You can get your shoulders in towards each other. Long, long sit bones. 2, 3, 4. Long, long, long. 5. It's long to come down as well. So we take those 2 sit bones long to the heels and past the toes until you come down, and then let it all release and just slightly hollow a bit. Once more, lengthening, slowly coming up. looking for length. Chest is open, beautiful long back of the neck. So that spine goes long between the shoulder blades and up into the brain. Chin is towards the chest notch, releasing and slowly coming down. Take rest for a moment. Release the shoulders. You can put your hands behind your head. Just a little bit of spaciousness between. Beautiful. And knees into the chest. Now, the longest sideways possible, relaxed shoulders. You can press, actually you can place the palms down. So you've got a little bit of action into the floor. You've turned the palms down. You're going to take the knees over to the left, the longest side waist possible. I'm pulling the left waist as long as the right. The knees are coming up into the armpits. You can press with the left hand, going to the left, so the left hand presses down to give you some control. And pressing down with the hand, bring the legs back up again, rock them side to side, and the other side. Now the right side, because I'm going to the right, gently presses down with a hand to give me control. Long side waist. The closer the knees are to the armpit, actually the easier this is. And coming back, you feel the hands to give you control. And now we're just a little bit of a rocking action coming up. Very nice. And now, if it gives you no discomfort, we'll be without a blanket, but if you need a blanket, you put a blanket into the wall. You might need another blanket or something, jumper from behind your foot. So the blanket goes into the wall. Here's the demo model. The knee, I'm going to have my right knee into the wall. I'll put my left one actually so you can see. My left knee goes into the wall. If you need to place a bit of protection for that foot behind. And we are in a lunge position here. The front leg foot is a little bit to the side so that you're not sticking your hip too far out to that side. It just helps the hips be even. You obviously are probably feeling this in the quad. So we'll feel what we're feeling. What is happening? So if it's complaining, you go, okay, I'm going to put my brain where you're complaining. I'm lucky enough to get my back to touch the wall. You do that. Hips reasonably even. Find how you can help that by squaring the feet a little wider. When you've had enough of that, which you probably have, come forward into a lunge. Arms in between the foot. And gently pressing the sacrum, sit bones, bottom forward as if it's got a train buffer behind it, so it's equal. We're just stretching out that front quad that was stretched then. Release, and the other side. They're not the same, so I'm going to put the protection against that foot just in case. It's a bit slidier. You'll find that your hips disappear out to the side, so the front foot can help that by going a little wider. bringing the hips in. Now, they're never the same. You're just looking at the differences. You might find this side's a little easier or a little more constricted, which is just interesting. Beautiful. And coming forward. It's just to release it. Strangely enough, it doesn't even like that once it's been stretched the other way. Release. And take rest. Pose of the child. Rest your head on your hands. Feel the feet. Four. And 5. Wonderful. We have a wee blanket there. So I'm just going to make a little sausage of this blanket. It's a bit black on black there. So I've wound this sausage like that, so I can get rid of that color. So I can put my ankles over it. So I've got a bit of a frame for my ankles to sit on. It should feel supportive and comfortable. Now, what it's doing is it's retracting a bit of my ankles, which is always nice. Interlock the hands, lift the hands up. Get off your lower back, hollow abdomen, release the inner arm back. Elbows gently come in towards head, which is surprisingly opening for the collarbone. Excellent. And bringing the hands down. Now we come up into Ustrasana. This is a friend. This bit of support is a friend. We're going to press the ankles down, lift the hands up. So the neck is never out of a straight line here. So I'm lifting up, pressing down my ankles. I lift up, I lift up, I lift up. The shoulders are up. My head is supported in between my arms. And also by a little bit of the shoulder blades being kind of underneath it. And press down, up we come, and release. So there is no creasing in the neck to do this back bend. Sitting back down, closing the eyes. Take a rest. Open the cells in your back. They might have squished a little bit. Might be a bit warm. Release the eyes back, down into their bone sockets. Ears separate. Ears go sideways. Eyes go deep. coming up onto the shins and the hands. We'll do one more of these. We lift the arms up, elbows in towards the head. Gently press the ankles down. And as you lift up, it's as though you're looking at the ceiling. The abdomen hollows. Don't work too hard. Long inner arm, elbows in. And up you come. I'm still lifting you. You come down. Sit comfortably. Might be on your heels. Close the eyes. Open your back. Yeah. And this is good where you are. So you'll come forward with the feet were exactly where they were and the hands in a Sphinx position. We've got the ankles just with a bit of support. Take the elbows a little bit out sideways. Now, you'll lose your support for your feet. You're going to tuck your toes under and draw the sternum and the heart towards your head, but try and take the thighs and everything else away. So we are trying to split the lower back in two. We're getting longer. We're trying to open the lower back. You're just looking for a little space. And then release. Press the ankles back down on their little friend, that support. Bring your hands beside you and lift up. Your feet, ankles are pressing on the support. I don't mind if the elbows are a little bit bent. Lift the thighs and press the tailbone down in such a fashion that your chest opens. We're still trying to get some space in the lower back. Chest, it's almost like you're being drawn forward and release. Go back, and it's sometimes a bit crampy for the feet. If that's happening, just come out of it and pose the child. Beautiful. And from here, you can use the wall for 1 foot. We're doing Paringasana, the gate posture. So this one is a straight leg on the knee. This one is slightly up the wall. This is a straight line. So it's the inner thigh again. The line is going up through the center. Lift this top arm up and you're going over towards the wall. Now you suck the inner line of that bent leg, the one that's not on the wall, up. So we get a little more of the coming over, if that makes any sense. So the line in the knee, up through the navel and over. 2, 3, and 4. Fill the back up very carefully. So we're filling it up to come up. And without thought, with an extra length there, we turn for the other side. Little bent leg, toes up the wall. Take the bent leg hand up and over we go. Two, 3, 4,
And 5. Inhale, up we come. Excellent. Exhale, a downward dog. Beautiful. You can use the wall, you can use a bit of those height from the blanket. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Walking in for a moment, bend the knees, take the right hand over the left, and we are going into a squat twist position. Press and turn. You want to get the spine as long as possible. It's not to do with the neck. You can look down. And you play with the energy in the ground so that butt can go up, it can go down. The only thing that you are doing is lengthening the spine like the squeeze toothpaste. I don't mind if the knees come uneven. That's fine. Really take an extra little rest here, filling up. You just squeeze the lungs so they can recuperate, and then onto the other side, bending the knees. Take the elbow over and turning. Butt goes down, butt goes up. You're just trying to get the feet nice and grounded, and then a lengthening of the vertebrae of the spine. 4 and 5. Releasing. Downward dog. Armpits forward. Floating. Rest. And rest. Wonderful. Okay. Moving forward. Last little forward bend. Inhale. Dandasana. Exhale. Coming down. You could have a bolster. You have bricks. You can have nothing. Coming forward. Beautiful. We're preparing for Shavasana. Any shoulder stand variation that you would like to do? I've set the chair one up there. If you know that one, legs up the wall, bolsters, or just setting up for Shavasana. Letting go.